2017 Australian sidecar champion Trent Headland. How you going tonight, mate?
Good, buddy.
I actually first met you and your brother at Maryborough in 2012, and I actually put a bet on you guys to win the Australian titles, but it got water trucked out. So I remember you guys had Rockstar all over your bike and everything like that. So how did all that come about?
We had a friend who had like a surf skate shop, and just talked to some reps. And yeah, while it wasn't a full Rockstar deal, it was, we got a lot of merch and bits and pieces, and we were sort of aiming for that bigger endorsement. But a bit young, and I didn't take it by the horns like it was sort of put in front of us. I think we sort of ruined it in the end, but that's all right. It was a learning curve. I think I was too focused on racing and rather than all the other stuff in the background as well. So anyway, it was good.
How did it all start back in the day?
I guess we were kids. We grew into it. We were those young kids that were knocking around the ankles of like the Cleves, O'Briens, Huffs, Lindy, all the guys back in sort of the late 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, 2000s, and then I started on the back. As a passenger, I can't even remember how many years. I think I did 3 years, something like that. Did a season with Mark Blaisted, full pinfold, and then sort of I had a season where I was sort of jumping around. I did a stint with Ricky Laycock, and I think I even jumped on the Scotty Christopher at one meeting. Glenn O'Brien. So yeah, just sort of cut my teeth a little bit there as a passenger, and then jumped on the bars. I think it was around 2005 I bought my first bike. And just I never really looked back from there.
What was your first bike? Was it a FZR Yamaha bike and a Mitch frame like everyone else gets, or what was it at the time?
I bought a bike off of John Lowe, which was a Mitch chassis. It actually had an old the RF or WP GSXR water cooled in it. It was a fast bike. It was good, but parts were getting scarce. I blew it up a few times. I nearly retired at one stage. And then when Mackay was coming over, he had a motor sitting on the floor, and I sort of sat it there, and I thought, what, I reckon that'll fit. And we chopped the mounts out and put an R1 in it, and we had some really good results with that bike. It was an awesome bike. I think we moved the motor about 10 times over sort of 5 seasons, and it got better and better. We did a lot of development, which I think that sort of set us up for the later stages of our career as well. Just we learned what did what, and it was definitely a development period. That bike still gets around. It's still a good bike. Brian Silvey rides that now. Still go and have a look at her every now and then, see how she's going.
Currently, you run a South Coast Customs bike. What sort of motors in that?
I run the sort of range between 04 and 08. Those motor combos are reasonably interchangeable. I've I've sort of made my own little concoction that I find works on certain tracks. Run one motor for one motor for another. It just depends where we're going. We sort of do a bit of homework and see what the tracks are doing, and we'll chuck whatever motor in sort of suits. Whether that's the way to go, I think there's been a fair bit of development now. If I was to go full hog again, I think we'll change.
Then you came into contact with your current passenger now, Darryl Whetstone. How did all that come about?
Probably a little bit political at this stage, but Jesse went and did his own thing. I was sort of left high and dry, and I had Paul Waters jumped on with me for a little bit, and then we had an accident. I can't remember what meeting. I think it was like a state title or something. He broke his leg pretty viciously, and then Daz was over here racing with Mark Cossa. And obviously the season had come to an end, and Daz had to go home, and he didn't really want to go home. I think he was home for a couple of months and went, bugger this, I want to come back to Australia. So we had a bit of a chat, and he was pretty keen to come back. So we had a bit of a test ride at Waveville. They do like what he used to do on, so Waveville show is September. So we did a bit of a demonstration. Daz jumped on and was like, punch you through, because it was just a show thing. It wasn't a speedway thing, and they had sprint cars on just before it, so it was really slick down low. Had a big cush right up top, and we hung it about a metre off the fence and held it flat, and it felt good. And I thought, this he's got what it takes. He's not scared. He's doing all the right things. We didn't crash, so it all started there.
I would just like to take a quick moment to thank my partners that helped me get through all these videos, and without them I couldn't do it.
I remember watching you guys race even before that with your passenger now, and it was always exciting. It was always clean, smooth riding, and just a team to watch and a rider I really took an interest in. So just before this interview, you said you've sort of wound down from Speedway just a little bit, but before that happened, you actually did some really cool promo stuff. Can you tell me about all that?
Yeah, look, I got to a point, we sort of burned ourselves out a little bit. We rode everything we could. We went to New Zealand. We tried to, back up the Aussies and did all these things. And I guess it sort of took its toll. I was still working a 12-hour-a-day job back here in Roxby as a project manager, and got 3 kids and a house and renovating and doing all this stuff, and it sort of got to a point I was like, am I enjoying this anymore? Like I'm trying to chase these trophies, but these trophies don't mean much. So I sort of took a step back, took a breath, and thought, like, what can I do that sort of makes me a bit happier, I guess, to be on the bike. So I've been, following the Pinjar stuff since they started building their new track, and we kept in touch with them. We went over, I think we won the first state title, it was over there, and we did a couple of promos. Ty Wolfman rode there as well on the solo. We sort of premiered on the sidecar, and just to get bums in seats and sort of kick them off, really get a good kickstart over there, help them out. Marshall was running the show back then, and sort of I guess wanted us to help promote, and so that was the first year. And then the second year, I think Ty sort of had a bit of a bet. He gave a few of the local sidecar riders a bit of curry because they weren't riding, and he said, give me a bike and I'll ride against you. And so someone turned around and said, oh, here's a bike. And he goes, oh, and he sort of backpedaled a little bit, and he goes, well, get Trent over and I'll swing for him. So he give me a call, and yeah, it all just bloody sort of went from there, and went over and yeah, had a blast. It was really good to sort of, like, I knew Ty when he was riding juniors. I was living over in Perth, and he was racing down to Bibra Lake. So it was good to catch up, you know, like his daughter's the same age as my daughter, and yeah, it's just good to see the other side of the fence. You know, he went down the solo realm, and I went down the sidecar realm, and you know, we've met up later on in life. But yeah, he's a professional athlete. He loves racing. It's what he does, but he also loves his hometown and promoting and doing all that he can to sort of kickstart Speedway and keep Speedway healthy in WA. And I think they're doing a really good job. Like, as you see, like, they do a lot of live stream. They got really good commentators. They present well. You know, they interview well, and it's all stuff that it gets it out and people see it. People can experience it. Without it, you know, you sort of forget about Speedway. So.
Isn't that funny you say that? Because I would never expect a GP level rider to actually get on a sidecar with anyone. And just touching back on the Punjab Park and all that, what a venue. Like I said, I'm in Queensland and I get to watch the videos and stuff, and they're up here at the moment. What they're doing is so cool. But you said you're stepping back because of life, family, house, you know, normal things that people go through. But I see you sitting in front of something there. What do you got going on there on the bike lift?
Yeah, this is the my Think bike for this year. Nominated for the Think. You know, I'm not going to go and touch up Toby or anything like that, but you know, it's something I've always wanted to do. It's you know, just do the best I can. We'll go do a couple of training sessions up there, a couple of free runs, and we'll do the prologue practice day and just go up and have some fun. I love riding the desert. You know, it's with the Speedway bike, you got to go down that highway. Our closest Speedway is 700 k's away, where my dirt bike, I just jump on it every night and I ride. It's free. It's, you know, it's awesome. I love riding motorbikes. I always have. And I love riding the desert. I love going fast. That's why I love Speedway, where in the desert, you know, it's just wide open, top gear, fast. Problem is when you crash, it hurts. But I've had a few injuries in the last couple of years, but I really love it, and I'm looking forward to sort of having a crack at Think. It's they call it Think Fever up there. It's something different. It's something magical. I went up there and crewed for a buggy a couple of years ago, and really enjoyed it. I sort of got the bug and thought, you know, I'm gonna have a crack at this. And last year got cancelled, which I was shattered, because I'd done about 8 months of training and the bike was ready, everything was there, set to go. But yeah, this year we'll give it another go and go have some fun.
You haven't lost that competitive drive to do something, and you know, whether it be achieving in your family life or even just doing something like you touched on that makes you happy. So it's really cool to see that the desert thing is something that really excites you and it's something you look forward to. But what happens if that goes well?
Oh, I don't know. I'll do it for as long as I can. My body's I've had a lot of crashes over the years, and it's getting harder and harder to get up every morning. It takes that little bit longer to warm up, but yeah, I'll do it. I'll keep riding bikes for as long as I can physically, I guess. So I sort of, something in my head says enough's enough. But yeah. just love that freedom. I love twisting the grip, and especially when everything's right. It's, there's an art to getting a motorcycle right, and when you do, like, you learn how to ride it and set it up, and when it's all good, it feels, there's nothing, you can't explain the feeling of holding a motorbike flat when it's all working beautifully.
I want to touch back on your Australian title victory. What sort of meeting was it for you? Was it a meeting where you got a maximum, or was there things that were setting you back? What was the meeting like?
Yeah, we pretty much maximumed. We dropped a race. I think I bogged it out the gate or something like that, and we just sat in behind Bottrell. It was pretty hard to pass. We copped some pretty big fill-ins, but just rode smart. We didn't need to do anything silly, crash or whatever. We had good points. So just reeled it back, got the 1 point, and then went to win the next one and through. I don't know, the Aussie titles is a funny one. It was a really big couple of years, that one, like especially that year. We did so much development, so much riding. The actual Aussies itself was pretty easy. It was everything else that led to that point was the hard part. The bits that people don't see. We developed engines, and that chassis was, it was different to ride to what I was used to. So we basically started fresh with, setups and all that sort of stuff. And it was a big year. We had a big year the year before. I think we come second in everything, like the second in the world, second in the Aussie, second Oceania, second in the state title. So it was a bit like Brody Cohen this year, or the last couple of years. Was that bridesmaid? And I thought, we got to step it up. We need to. We know how to do it. Let's have a crack. So that was a big year, the Aussies, but it's something that I've dreamt of since I was a little kid. So to actually win it, the emotions were pretty crazy, and just amazing. It was like a big weight lifted off my shoulders. But we did it, and we did it convincingly, which was even better. We didn't get landed in our lap or anything like that. We worked hard for it as a team. It wasn't just me; it was my whole team, and it was an awesome thing to be a part of. I'll remember it for the rest of my life.
People rarely even get to be competing in the main night, let alone being selected for the qualifier. So to actually go through, really put your stamp on it, really show that all the work you've put in, you've got the victory now. There's no way someone can take it away from you. There's no disputes over anything. So moving forward now, you said you've got 3 kids and all that sort of thing. So are you a cool dad, or are you just dad?
I think I'm pretty cool. My oldest son, he'll be rolling up to the tapes in about 2023 season. I actually dropped him at the airport before. He's back in boarding school. So that was a bit of a culture change this year. To have him, he's growing up real quick. My youngest one, he's awesome. I like his dad, I guess. My girl, she's crazy. I'm glad we had her last, but if we had her first, we probably wouldn't have any more. Anyway,
it's funny you say that. I've got two girls, and I've got a son as well. And the girls are a nightmare compared to the dudes. you just set and forget. They're fine, but the girls, they're just another level. I think it keeps us young.
You just close the door and just let that pan out.
Yes, you've set out to achieve a goal. You've achieved it. You're doing what makes you happy. Obviously, the work life, you were saying, very intense. But without any of these things, we can't live a normal life, provide for our families and that. What do you do to wind down?
I don't think I do wind down. No, look, lately, look, I'm on paternity leave at the moment. I work for a company that offered was 160 days paid for leave, so the mums can go back to work. So it was like, man, I'm going to take it. You know, it's an opportunity of a lifetime, really, to spend that time with the kids when they're young, especially when you're still getting paid. So it's been different. I expected to get a lot more done, but you know, the time I've spent with the kids is amazing. We go out the bush and we go bushwalking and hunting scorpions and stuff, bugs and whatever else with the kids, and I guess you could call that winding down. But I'm a tinkerer. I love working on motorbikes and building stuff. I've just finished my extension on the house and building bikes and doing whatever. So I guess that's my wind down. I really enjoy just tinkering along. The problem is I overcommit and I get stressed out, but I'm probably not alone there.
No, mate, you're a bloke, and unfortunately, I'm exactly the same. But I sort of, my thing's painting, so we've got a custom painted toaster and a jug and just ridiculous things you don't need. But do you see yourself coming back to sidecars as a full-on thing, or at the moment are you happy doing what you're doing?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm not done. I love racing speedway. I just had a few goals that we were kicking in the background, with investments and properties and bits and pieces, the kids in schools and that's starting to pan out now. So, you know, we will probably leave Roxby in the next couple of years and get closer to a track. At the moment, like it's really hard having 3 kids and a full-time job and house and all that stuff, and traveling up and down roads, and like our closest track is Gilman, 700 k's away. Mildura is like 10 hours away. Alice Springs is 10 hours away. So yeah, it's so much traveling. So to do it properly, it's difficult. But when we get back closer to somewhere we base, we don't know where that is yet. I think it'll be that next era of our racing career. What happens, what we do, how we do it, I don't know. There's a few little things that we've got sort of happening in the background, but yeah, it'll be exciting. I don't know that much, but what it looks like, I don't know.
Pretty much just described most riders and competitors older than us that went through this at our ages, you know, with the kids, the family, getting that sorted in. It's very important to have the base of a good woman. Your kids know that they actually like you because you're at home, you're not away all the time, and your job's secure and your house. So I think you're doing all the right things, man. And, you know, I had no idea you were so far away from the closest track. Like, for me, the closest track's an hour down the road, and that's North Brisbane, and I suck about that. So 700 k's the nearest track's just insane.
Yeah, it's been difficult, and hence why I sort of gravitate to the dirt bike, because I've got a gate in my back fence and I'm gone. It's perfect. Yeah, look, Speedway's been good to me. I've met some great people, you know, they're like family. I haven't really done much this year. I haven't been anywhere, and yeah, I miss everyone. I'd like to go and see everyone. I get Snapchats and phone calls and all the stuff, and I get a bit of FOMO, but no, look, I've kept my finger on the pulse a bit. I've been watching what guys are doing. There's a lot of young guys coming through that, you know, sort of impress me. They've got a lot of talent. They've got some good bikes. They've got some good people behind them as well. They seem to have their heads screwed on. They don't seem to be as crazy as what we were when we were younger, but no, look, I think the sport's heading in the right way. I'm interested in what, you know, Darcy Ward's obviously got his hands on North Brisbane now. You've got what's happening over in Pinjar. Speedway's looking good. Like, yeah, it'll be really cool to see what these young guys do in the next sort of 5 to 10 years. And then I'll be the veteran, I guess, still banging around. Trelaw will probably still be there as well. He never says never, that bloke, but yeah, it's exciting times.
Like I said, I took a break for quite a few years away from in behind the scenes, and there's a few things that really blow me away, and one of them is the presentation is way up there from what it was. Even though you're in a period of where you're having a break and sorting your family and your work life and everything out, there's a lot of people willing to do a lot of Ks now, which to me also is mind-blowing, because I just didn't realise how big some of the travel was. But as we're winding this down as such, what are some of the things ideas that you could have put forward, or that you think could be happening to make it just that little bit better?
I think with anything these days, it's all about content. The more content you got, the more you put it in people's faces. It's there. People they're naturally addicted to content. So I think for all the tracks, they need to sort of come with the times, like they sort of say, oh, it costs money and this and that. But, you know, it's a long-term investment. You really need to get, and even for people that are, you know, might watch this, that are in the crowd, that are doing stuff like what you do, you might be good with cameras or interviews or whatever. Make content, get it out there. The more content that's out there, the better it is. People see the show and they'll want to come and be a part of it. I think that's the biggest key to move forwards. Without that, it'll be dead in the water. The people that do have the content will go further. You know, you look at this tinny race, and you got content everywhere. People are getting a part of it. It's gone from a few boys having some fun out near Renmark to being almost an international sport now. You know, like it's amazing what content can do. So I think moving forward, people are good at it. Get amongst it. Come and get some content. I wish, you know, I had more time to do it myself, but when we were racing, I didn't have time. Like, I own all these GoPros. Every time I put one on, I'd always forget to turn it on or whatever. And even the content I do have, I've got memory cards just full, but I haven't done anything with. So just yeah, I need someone on the team that's good with that stuff to get it out there. But yeah, all the teams, I think they could do a lot better if they get it out there, get amongst it, get it under people's noses. We do some pretty cool stuff on and off the bikes. We travel a long way. We build awesome machines. We go to awesome places, and obviously put on some really awesome racing. So
for me, it's my way of putting back the DIY that sort of comes into sidecars from the race teams, where they'll tweak things and make them better and that. So this is my way of doing that. So all I can say is thanks for being so honest tonight, and thanks for the chat, man.
No worries. It's my pleasure. Thanks for doing what you do. Like I said, we need more people like you to show what we do and showcase the awesome sport that we're in. It's amazing, you know, people that have never seen it before and they watch it, they go, man, that's crazy. Why haven't I ever seen this stuff before? So, you know, get it out there, get amongst it. Well done. Thank you.
And lastly, I'll get my butt kicked from everyone. So you have to thank the people that have done everything. Been there, your missus, whoever. Go through the list of people and name them. Thank them.
Well, I have to start probably top of the list because this will give me brownie points. It'd be my missus. Number one, my kids, my family, my pit crew, Tommy, Greggy, who else? Gary Stenges built me an awesome bike. We've done a lot of awesome development. Thanks, Gaz. South Coast Customs. He's another one. He's stepping back. He's having a bit of time. He's building awesome cars. Second Real Estate, Auto Pro, Rob August from Newell Composites. Who else? So many people. And I'm blank. Nah, look, there's been so many people over the years that have helped out, you know, and it depends where we've gone or what we're doing. There's always someone that goes, you know, Trent, do you need a hand with this? Do you need a hand with that? And I'm appreciative for, you know, everyone that I've forgotten, but I haven't forgotten. You know, it wouldn't take much to jog the memory, but there's been so many that, you know, from trips to England to trips to New Zealand to trips to North Queensland to Queensland, WA, wherever. Glenn O'Brien, he's another one, mentor and also pit crew. Jason Hardy, you know, so many people that have made a successful team, I guess, and I can't thank them enough. It's been a hell of a journey. It's been great.
For more content and continued interviews, tech videos, anything like that, please check out Dave of All Trades on YouTube.